Alright, what's up everyone? I'm Filoki, and today we've got some big news in the NFL world, and I was questioning if there'd be anything interesting happening between the NFL draft and the start of the season, and man, was I wrong. The Seahawks tried to trade Russell Wilson back in 2018. This is happening, man. There's probably going to be more happening too, so it's just crazy. Everything is kind of just happening. It's very interesting. So the topic for this video, which I think you can tell by the title and from what has currently been going on around the NFL, is the fact that DeAndre Baker and Quinton Dunbar both have warrants out for their arrest. And yeah, this is crazy. Two very good NFL players have warrants for their arrest in very serious crimes. What they're alleged to have done, if it actually comes out as being true, I don't know what's going to happen to them. This is some big stuff. So this actually ended up happening in Florida, and as anyone really knows, Florida is just crazy. Anything bad that happens, you can probably guess it's from Florida. Anything crazy that happens, it's from Florida. You can almost 100% guarantee it. But this happened in Florida. There was a party, and apparently DeAndre Baker and Quinton Dunbar pulled out some guns, and they ended up stealing a lot of stuff. And to get more specific, get more into details, it was said that according to the police within that Florida area that is dealing with it, Quinton Dunbar and DeAndre Baker were both partying, and then there was an argument, and then Baker took out a semi-automatic firearm. Basically, the police say that the men began to steal watches and valuables from the party guests, and supposedly there are reports that DeAndre Baker had told a third person who was at that party to shoot someone who had recently arrived to the party, which, if this is true, man, that is not looking good for DeAndre Baker. And I mean, he's a first round pick, I believe, for the Giants. I think that was last year he was a first round pick, and man, that is not a good sign for the Giants and for DeAndre Baker. That's career jeopardizing, if I do say so myself. So to get more into the details of what was actually stolen, it is alleged that Baker and Dunbar ended up stealing over $7,000 in cash, along with several expensive watches. Like there was an $18,000 Rolex, another $25,000 watch, and then there was a timepiece from something, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, that's a lot of money to be stealing. And for NFL players that are making millions and millions of dollars, it's not for the money. It's obviously not for the money. There's definitely a different motive behind it if this is all true, which, I mean, there are a lot of things that can point this out to be true, and the police are in on it. Like, the police are on the case, so it seems like they're in some big trouble. There's some very interesting stuff going on, but I'm not exactly sure all the exact situations. Don't want to go too far in accusing them of anything. Following along with that ulterior motive speculation, there was one witness that told police that a few days earlier at a party in Miami, DeAndre Baker and Quinton Dunbar ended up losing around $70,000 in gambling and card games and stuff like that. Not to make any accusations, that does sound like a viable reason for them to actually end up doing that. I don't think that that's a good thing to do, but it sounds like that could be their motive for actually stealing the things that they stole. And I mean, stealing something is one thing, just being an intimidating person and stealing it. Like, I mean, if Aaron Donald wanted to go to some random dude on the street and be like, all right, give me your phone, he would give him his phone, because you know what? I would not mess with Aaron Donald. And there's nothing against that. I mean, obviously it's stealing, but like, you're not using a weapon against the person. You're just standing there being menacing if you're Aaron Donald. But using a firearm to steal something, that is a whole nother thing when it comes to the problems you'll have with the law. So this is big when it comes to their NFL future, and I mean, even staying out of jail. I assume they probably will find a way to not go to jail, but my God, these are some big things that have ended up occurring. Another interesting thing within this story is that there were some people at the party that thought that it was planned when it came down to the robbery and like everything getting stolen, because there were supposedly 3 different getaway cars in different positions to kind of help all 3 of the different people get away. And right now, at the time of recording, I believe that DeAndre Baker and Quinton Dunbar are still out there. They haven't been caught by the police. They haven't turned themselves in at this point. Everything could change by the time this is uploaded, but they are still out there. There are warrants for their arrest, and everything is just very crazy. There's not a ton of information when it comes down to what actually happened. It's just speculation, really. The Giants, when they were asked about DeAndre Baker, they said they were aware of the situation, and they've been trying to contact DeAndre Baker and have been in contact, but they did not want to comment on it. And the Seahawks kind of had the same exact response. They said that they were aware of the situation involving Quinton Dunbar and they're still gathering information, and they aren't going to comment when it comes to the media. They'll be giving their information to league investigators and the authorities. So obviously the teams are making the right decision. They are really just doing what they have to do. And this is not looking good when it comes to DeAndre Baker and Quinton Dunbar's potential future NFL career. These are some big charges. I don't know if I've gone fully in detail of the charges, but I think DeAndre Baker is there for 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm and 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. And Quinton Dunbar also has 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm on him. So, I mean, these are some big accusations. I've said that before. These are some big things that can really just derail their career, probably derail their life, really just change how their perception is in the media by anyone, and could possibly end their NFL career. Not sure exactly what will happen, but kind of talking on the Seahawks side of this, just real quickly before this video ends, I want to mention kind of how this looks for the Seahawks. And I mean, there are some big life-changing things when it comes to Quinton Dunbar. He has a lot of things on him that can really ruin his life, ruin his career. But when it comes down to the Seahawks, I mean, they gave up a 5th rounder for Quinton Dunbar, I believe. I could be completely wrong with this trade. I'm pretty sure it was just a 5th rounder for Quinton Dunbar. But, I mean, a 5th rounder, it's not the biggest of picks when it comes down to it, but you're losing a valuable player that you had just made a trade for. So it's definitely going to be a bad thing for the Seahawks, because Quinton Dunbar, he would have added a lot to our secondary. He would have definitely helped with the secondary. And, I mean, there's still potential that he could play in the season. There's still potential he can get past all this. And, I mean, I don't know. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it's seeming like it's very questionable if he will play in this next NFL season or even for the future. And if that is the case, then that's basically just a wasted 5th round pick for the Seahawks. And I mean, hindsight's 2020. If they would have known that this was going to happen, they wouldn't have done it. But no one really knew this was going to happen, so it really sucked for the Seahawks. But I mean, what can you do? Overall, I mean, this is just a crazy situation. If there's more information coming out later on, I will make a second video kind of recapping when everything is kind of all said and done. But for now, just wanted to get the information on. Just wanted to give my thoughts as a Seahawks fan when it comes down to how this affects the Seahawks, how it affects Quinton Dunbar, and really just, this is a crazy situation, and I thought it was super interesting, so I decided to make a video on it. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. I will have a Seattle Seahawks prediction video for the 2020 season out on Sunday, maybe Monday, not sure. I want to put more time into that. It was supposed to come out today, but I've decided to put more time into that, kind of make it more in-depth, rather than just kind of being like, I think we'll have 9 wins and 7 losses. I think I want to go more in-depth when it comes down to it and try to give much more information per game. So it's going to take me a little bit more time, but I hope that it will be much better when it comes down to it. But with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and with that, have a great day.